I logged on this morning and I was really excited to make the content for the day, which I always am. And then I saw this and it completely blew my mind because I made a video yesterday talking about ARK 2 because Snail went on to talk about ARK 2, what their plans were for it, how they wanted to make it a pop culture icon in the gaming industry, and loads of different things like that. And I had all my eyes focused on ARK 2 because obviously since 2020, December 2020, it's been a thing I've thought about every single day. But anyway, and then I saw this posted from Clark and everyone else responding to it, and my mind was blown away by how I missed and skipped past this kind of stuff. And it is just weird, strange. We don't know where it's going to go for the world of ARK. I hope it's not going to be to do with ARK, but a lot of people here seem to think it is. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a like, subscribe, and it's time we jump into what in the world is going on here. So Clark posted out saying, from smart cars to crypto, only the best investments for your gaming breadwinner. And if you don't know what Clark means from smart cars to crypto, is Snail actually tried to, I think, basically through some form of thing in their business, they tried to create new smart cars or something. I don't think it went very well. I don't know if they're still doing it. And obviously moving into crypto, and then posted out this page that we looked at the other day, and it was talking about ARK and, you know, how the ARK franchise gamers, how there's 90.5 million and how, you know, 54% of lifetime paid DLC conversion. So 54% of us that play ARK will buy a DLC. And then it says the Snail rewards ecosystem. And I don't know how I skip past this. Games and stablecoin. Snail Games attracts more gamers to ecosystem with reward program. Gamers engage with games from Snail Games, rewarded with crypto coins for in-game engagement. Redeem crypto coins for games, DLCs, and digital goods. More gamers with increased engagement leads to higher sales. ARK franchise game account reflects on the base game installs. So they want to create an ecosystem around ARK, which makes us want to use their stablecoin. Now, if that's what I am actually reading is correct there, that is absolutely crazy. And now that makes more sense from what Clark says here. Only the best investments for your gaming breadwinner, which is literally ARK, because if it wasn't for ARK, you know, Snail wouldn't be able to do this kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's on one of the other pages where I think ARK has generated over $950 million over time, and even Nakatis responded with with this post saying rewarded with crypto coins for in-game engagement. Like, no one wants crypto coins. I mean, unless you're, you know, if you're someone who is involved with crypto, maybe this is something you're interested in. But to be honest, for me, I do not care, and I do not want to be rewarded with Snail coin. Like, you know, I see what they're trying to do here. You know, they want to find a way to build up their coin, and they're going to do it by trying to excite players with a chance of being rewarded with coins that they can use these crypto coins to basically redeem the new DLCs coming up for the game. I could imagine Wildcard are sickened by this. There's no way I can imagine Wildcard would ever want anything like this in the game. And someone called Jew, who is I Am Wild Jew, said seen this coming a while ago when apparently they've announced a Web3 game. And lots of people are going on and talking about it and just saying, wow, like, this is just awful. I mean, I've seen Nooblitz has been going crazy about it and says, and when it fails, they expect us to pay for a third ARK remaster again. And then they also, and this was another thing here that I saw, that, you know, they said 1.1 million daily active users on Steam. Since when? Because Steam's own stats don't show that. It's more likely 40 to 50k most. Now, that's not true, actually, that Nooblitz said it. They're about 40 to 50k. The most ARK Survival ARK Survival Evolved has ever had was 255,000 players in one day, and that is when they released Fjordur, and then they went on, and ARK was free because they knew Ascended was coming out next year. But this is also what I saw over on Nikatas's page, and Nikatas basically, and I think this is where GP said, responding to this saying, the 1.1 million daily active users is specifically referencing June 2022, which is, like I said, when Fjordur released, because Nikatas is OP, and in June 2022 saw Steam saw, this is what I said, it was nearly 247,292 current players, the highest ever. I guess it's conceivable that over those 24 hours there was 1.1 million players to log on. So I guess that's what they've managed to do, like, over time. So even though there was 200 and nearly 50,000 players at one time, over time within that 24 hours, maybe there's 1.1 that actually logged on to ARK in that point. And Nakata said, to be honest, Fjordur dropped in 2022 when ARK was free for completely free for a few weeks. But damn, it's crazy how Fjordur pushed ARK in that short time. And that's why Fjordur is such a popular map and craved by the ARK community to come to Ascended, because it's generally such a popular map because so many people came and played the game there. But wow, this recent bit of information that's come out, and the fact that I didn't even realize that that was a thing. You know, all my eyes were focused on all ARK 2 related. And I don't think we've actually looked at this page, but I think this... Oh, no, we did actually look at this on the stream. It's 4.1 billion hours total time on Steam. And I do think, like, stats are great, right? Stats are amazing. We all love stats, but it's one of those things where it's like, stats make things look a lot better than they really are at a time, you know, because ARK has been so successful over that time. And yeah, it's just, it's a weird time right now. There's no way they're going to actually try and implement this into the game at some point. At the end of the day, there are so many amazing content creators and just the average player in the ARK community that have stuck by this game, you know, through everything that's happened, and, you know, become so creative. Ras Clark being one of them, Nakatus being one of them, you guys watching this video being those people that have stuck through the game in its really rough times, because this game is, it's so fun, and we have such a close community. I said this the other day. I said everyone's got their really close, like, tight-knitted communities within the game. There's so many. You know, you've got LoadedCrysis cluster. You've got all these other clusters. You've got all these different communities everywhere doing their own thing. Monarchy, that Ras Clark does. All of this different stuff going on everywhere, and everyone's a part of it, and they build these worlds. And, you know, we build these worlds as part of the game and make it what it is. The modders that spend so much time dedicating to the game, loving it, and putting so much passion into it. Studio Wildcard, working really hard. And don't get me wrong, their times on releasing things is absolutely awful. And one day I hope that they improve that. But we do not want to have some form of crypto forced into ARK if that's what the plan is. I don't see where they confirm it's going to be in ARK, but it just worries me because they do mention the ARK franchise gamers and how many of us. So it's leading that way that they're going to hopefully try and, well, not hopefully, but they're going to be trying to use this system within their games. Now, it's absolutely fine if they want to do it in their other games, because I've got nothing to do that. But when it comes to ARK, people are not going to be happy with this. They're just not going to want this. Why is it always with Snail, L after L after L after L? That awful AI trailer, which who would have like thought that when you're releasing a DLC, you're going to release an AI trailer where someone's holding a harpoon gun with 7 fingers or 6 fingers, whatever it is. Like, well, it wasn't even that. It was like overlapping fingers. It was like just you know, you guys have tried to make pictures in AI before as a bit of a laugh or something, and it always sort of does it that little bit wrong. And they did that in the actual trailer. I think it was, or was it just 2 fingers on? I can't remember what the issue was on that trailer. I'd have to go back and watch it. But it just seems to be that they just never ever completely listen. And I think Snail Games USA themselves might even think that some of these things are bad. But when you've got a company that, of the higher up people that are in the company, and they don't really know what happens in ARK. All they look at is data. They don't know about playing the game. They don't know about anything when they're so high up, and all it is dollar signs to them. There's nothing you can do because they're the people at the top, and that's what they do. Even though if they just actually, if the people at the top of Snail actually for once saw the creativity and how amazing the ARK community is, instead of just thinking, oh, these annoying ARK players and stuff, you know, instead of not listening to them, if they actually listened to them and realized what they wanted and built a bit of a community and love within that, things would sell and be so much better. But of course, things will still sell anyway because it's ARK and everyone loves the game and supports it. I'm not saying that everyone's done that. I know there's so many of you guys that watch my videos that don't play the game anymore, and maybe you would still play the game if it was treated in a better way. And I find it really sad that way, because ARK 2 will be very popular on launch day. Who knows if it's going to be popular a few weeks down after it's been launched. But I just hope that one day in the future, Snail actually think to themselves, do you know what? I'm bored of saying it. I'm bored of saying it. You know, I'm sitting here at my big age now, and you know, for years and years and years, I've just been saying I hope that one day they maybe get a bit closer to the community, actually see what ARK players want, or maybe, you know, they decide to sell up for a huge fee to Microsoft or something. But that's if Microsoft would even want to buy it. I don't know. But again, as Ross Clark said, it is their gaming breadwinner, so I can't see how they would ever want to sell it unless the most ridiculous offer came in. But to me, you know, Snail own, you know, ARK, and they don't even know what ARK is and what the passionate fans have been through over the years. And it makes me so sad to see things like this, whether you like crypto, whether you don't like crypto, to think that, you know, Snail Games attracts more gamers to it. So basically saying luring players in from ARK with a reward program. Oh, I just don't know. It gets worse and worse as every year. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much, I think, all I'm going to say on the situation. I just saw people going crazy on Twitter, and I just thought I wanted to read it and sort of share my opinion on the situation, because it's really sad to see that they're doing this. And again, they're looking at as, you know, 54% of players that, you know, that love the DLCs. They're going to want stablecoin. No, we just want a DLC created by Studio Wildcard that's fun and exciting and the next part of the story. That's all we want. We don't want any of this. Anyway, well, that's personally my opinion on it. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We do have a second upload later tonight, on everything that's going on, because tomorrow is a big day. It's Fear Ascended. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys later, and I hope you guys enjoyed, even though it's a bit of a strange one.